Good afternoon. Can you please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your nonprofit origin story?
I am Shafkat Alam, and I am one of the joint secretary of Tiljala Shed. It's Tiljala Society for Human and Educational Development. So, in short, it's Shed providing shelter to the people in need. And I'm from India, from Kolkata, from the city of Mother Teresa. So, my father actually started this organization, and he was the first law graduate in the Tiljala slum. So, Tiljala is actually the name of the slum from where we started. And now we are spread out across 7 areas in Kolkata. So
Amazing.
Tiljala is the first slum where we started and where my father started his journey. And that is the reason the organization name starts with Tiljala.
Okay.
And he was the first law graduate in the slum community. And I'm talking about 70s, early 70s, 80s. In those days, India was a very much underdeveloped country compared to now. And education was not a very common thing in India. So he felt that just because he got out of poverty because of the career he made, he should not forget the people with whom he had spent half of his life.
Mm,
And that's how the journey started for my father. He decided to make a difference and started this organization.
nice.
There is no hi-fi background or anything. When he talks from his heart, and whatever few things I have learned from him, and since childhood, I have seen foreigners coming into our place, working with us. Even like when I was a toddler, foreigners used to come and stay in my home, especially from America. So Tricolor Foundation was the first foundation in New York which supported our organization, and it continued for 25 years. It is based in New York. So it was a livelihood program, $100, one business, one family, fighting poverty. So this was the slogan. And this became a very popular program in the community because in those still for the poor people, access to cash, access to loan is very difficult because the bank will ask you for so much collaterals and all these things which nobody can give,
Yeah.
especially from these families who are coming from such vulnerable background. So this grant was a conditional grant; it was not a loan. So this grant would help these families, especially women-headed businesses. And the condition was that the families cannot send the child to work. Child labor, there is no negotiation on child labor. So you have, if you want this grant, you have to send your child to school where he belongs. Because my father believed below 18, there is no other place for a child other than school. They have to go to school. We rescue the children from waste picking and landfills, and we put them into schools. And we provide their parents with livelihood opportunities. What we do, where we come is, we have educational learning centers across all these areas. All these children come after school, they come to our place. We give them holistic education, joyful learning. We help them with their studies through games. We have taekwondo classes. You have seen the videos. You have
Yeah.
taekwondo classes. We have performing arts. We have guitar classes. We have special drawing classes where they learn fine arts. We have digital learning. We take the children to scouts camp, summer camp, winter camp, excursion tours, all these things, which is a privilege in India for the rich. So we wanted to bring the services of the rich to the services of the poor
That's very
so
cool.
that poor can also access the whole quality holistic education which rich children experience. And we also have counseling sessions, we have motivation sessions where civil services servants like bureaucrats, Indian administrative services from IAS, IPS, top class civil servants come and talk with the students to motivate them. Even people from the army have also come in the past. They talk with the students to motivate them because the environment which they are living in itself is a very big challenge. So, continuous motivation is required because I still remember my father told me the first 10 years of intervention, more than 50% was dropout. And many said that you should not continue this work. This is very difficult work, but the things which you're trying to solve will not be solved. Many people demotivated him. But after 37 years, the dropout rate in our target area is not 2%.
That's
From
amazing. Yeah.
more than 50%. So it is a time consuming thing, and you have to just get on with this. You have to just, it is a continuous process. We have English teachers in each and every class where
Right.
we have specialized English teachers, specialized. So English and computers is very important. And that is the reason we have started for the, I think 3 years ago, We started these English classes when we saw that without English, whatever we do, we are going nowhere. So we started this English classes, and I think that has helped a lot of students. And now many of the students are getting jobs. So it is actually working. So Tasha, we started working actually on first initially with the primary section. So the primary school children were the primary target for us. And
Okay.
and then only we saw after class 5 massive dropouts, child marriages, 12 years, 5, 6, 7, 12 child marriages. After that, we started after a few years of study, we started the evening classes, which was for classes 6 to classes 12. And that was a time we could get hold of the adolescent students, the adolescent period, which is
Yep.
the most delicate time of anybody, of any child. So the adolescent child, when we started this intervention, and that was the time the dropout started coming down. So this is what we are doing. And the livelihood, we are giving business grants to start the businesses. We also have a open shelter home where some children are staying. It's supported by one of the government of West Bengal. So it's an open shelter home where the boys can stay. Those who are single parent mother, or sometimes both the parents are working. There's nobody at home to look care, so they can drop their children in our homes.
Well, that's very
And
cool.
yes, because if you don't drop, and if the children goes around in the area, as the time evening comes down, there is the alcoholic, drugs, crime, all these things are happening. And that is the reason the adolescent class, we start at 6 p.m. and we end at 9 p.m. And that was intentionally we did in the evening, because we don't want these children who was going around and getting into wrong circles. Because I strongly feel, if you want to close the jail door, you have to open the school door. Once, if these children are not being catered, they will become criminals, Tasha. No doubt. Majority of them will become criminals. So as I said in the Beast video also, as I said, I'm repeating the same. When somebody asked my father, why you are doing this? So he answered it, I'm because I'm selfish. So in the audience, everybody was shocked. What he's telling, I'm selfish. So he said, I'm doing it for my selfish reasons. Because if I don't do, crime will only go up and my family will also suffer.
Mm,
So it is for the selfish interest of my family, I am doing this. If I do this, crime will be in control and my family will be safe. So
yeah.
he told everybody in the audience, so you should all be selfish. Do something for your community, for your society. And that is the only reason. If you're seeing a child in bad company, bad circles, act accordingly. So
Yeah.
that, yeah, because you just can't say, oh, I cannot say, because Mother Teresa said, if you can't feed 100 children, just feed only one. So there is no excuse. There is no excuse. You have to start somewhere. You can have to start small. Many people give you alibi. Oh, we can't start because a lot of resources are required. You can start with just one. The rest world will take care of it.
Starting with one is really important for sure. And so, what in your work so far, working in nonprofit, what's your favorite part about being part of this sector?
Favorite part is interacting with the students, young students. So we have a child club members where all this 13 to 18 years, all that 13 to 18 years, high energy, high voltage children are there. So we have regular child club meetings, child parliaments, where they come and discuss about the child related issues. They make puppet shows. They make their own puppet show. With puppet show, yes, they make puppet shows, and with puppet show, they have successfully did. I will upload one videos on that, successfully shown the evils of child marriages with through a puppet show. Because if you just say a normal speech, nobody is interested to hear a boring speech anywhere in the world, I believe.
Yeah.
So puppet show, and with music, with acting, people get the message. So that you don't do your daughters or son marry at a very early age. You should marry at the legal age which the government has prescribed for you.
Storytelling is one of it's the oldest form of art is
Mhm.
storytelling. And I think it connects with people. And that's also even you have some beautiful videos. I'm gonna put the link in afterwards to some of the videos you've created. But video storytelling in nonprofit is an incredible way to reach not only your current audience and showcase the amazing work you're doing, but reach new audiences and explain what you do, like you said, without it being in a report. People don't read reports. Not that many
Yes.
people read reports, right? They want to see the people and they want to see the stories. And I think your team is doing an amazing job of doing that.
Yes, Tasha, we are a very small nonprofit in India, and it's only after Mr. Beast we are getting all this highlight all over the world.
But it shows you goes to show you, sometimes you only have to meet the right people, right? Like, it's all about, yes, you need to meet a lot of people to find the right people, but I
Yes.
truly believe when we have conversations, when we meet people, that's when opportunities come up, which is
I,
part of why the nonprofit Hive came into being in the first place.
yes, I'm a very big believer of destiny. I was destined to meet with Tasha Van Black. I was destined to be a member of the nonprofit Hive. So it happened late, but it happened, and I'm very thankful to God that it actually happened. And I'm meeting with the right kind of people. With I not just people are talking, people are actually trying to help. I know all this. Mr. Dan Drucker, I have to mention him. Mr. Dan Drucker, Matthew Gans, Kale, Dominic Albuquerque, Karen, all these names.
Yeah,
These people are trying to help me a lot. Yes, still we had not got any result. They are staying 12,000 kilometers away, if I'm not mistaken. 12,000 kilometers
it's a
away
long
from my
ways.
city.
Yeah.
Yes, and people from India, in India, charity is not seen the way it is seen in West. I have seen West very closely. I have been to many conferences. I have been a part. I was also a New York delegate in the UN delegate in 2015.
Amazing. That's awesome.
So I have seen the people in the West. The orientation is very social. Even somebody is having a very modest salary, they will give some amount of donation. In India, it's not like that. Still, we have a long way to learn from the West regarding to philanthropy. That's my personal belief.
So
But
beyond that, beyond maybe this leads perfectly into my next question. What are some of the challenges you're experiencing in building your nonprofit? You just mentioned one right there, that there's like this cultural context
the
in India. What
the
else do you have
biggest
as challenges?
Tasha, the biggest challenge is somebody when I went to Germany. I went to Germany and Miseria had a big program with us in 2012. So somebody in Germany asked me, why India is a booming country. So many rich people are India it's already in the news. So many people are rich and all these things. Why somebody sitting in Germany or sitting in the West will have to care and bother about you? Why not Indians? That was the question. I still remember very fresh in my mind. And I had no answer actually. Honestly, I had no answer. But the answer which I gave was because of the orientation. Now things are coming up with the CSR policy, with the corporate social responsibility policy in 2013 by the previous government and which the current government is also following. There are some corporates which are coming up and helping us, but still they have a long way to go. It's not the way many times corporate don't want to pay admin cost. They don't want to pay salaries. So without salaries, you can't run the programs. So we believe CSR is the future definitely. I definitely am very hopeful that in India, CSR will come up and help more organizations like us who are not so big. And we are totally now dependent on foreign funds, foreign resources. So I believe CSR is the way out, but I think the orientation, maybe sometimes in the CSR, somebody is sitting there in the CSR department, in the company department, which is called corporate social responsibility. So somebody is sitting who is not so social,
Yeah.
who doesn't know so much. Somebody just appointed them. So I met with so many companies, CSR head. Some are very good. Some do understand the pain, like they understand what we go through, mobilizing resources for the very small amount of money can make a big difference in their lives.
I would say that is the one challenge that's very similar here in North American too, is that corporate is not very interested usually in sponsoring nonprofits or supporting them. And if they do, they want to support a program, but not the staff to run a program. And so my last question that I always have for these interviews is, you've been a member of the nonprofit Hive for a little while now. You've met some of these people who are part of our membership. How does peer support kind of factor into your success? What does it mean to meet other people who are in the sector?
You're talking about those who are already in from nonprofits. I'm meeting a lot of nonprofits. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think exchange of ideas. I met with somebody who was a sports coach long time back. I think she was a lady from Nigeria or Kenya, something
yeah.
like that. So I got some ideas which I would like to implement it in my non-profit. So in our non-profit, Tasha, we have been promoting sports a lot because we believe for these children, they have a lot of aggression because they see domestic violence. In India, you also have to understand in the community where we work, domestic violence is very common. Women are beaten up it's a very common affair. So these children have a lot of aggression because children learn what they see.
Yep.
So these children has a lot of aggression. So we want to, with sports, we want to control their aggression through sports. So life skills training through sports. So a lot of things we do with sports. So with other nonprofits, sometimes I am giving their ideas, sometimes they are giving access. So this exchange is very helpful, I think. Even though I don't know, we can also share the resources as well. Like I shared some of my past donors details with somebody. You must have heard about my last nonprofit Hive with that African guy. I don't remember his name.
I think it was
Uh,
Pious, I think maybe you met with.
yes, pious. Yes, pious. So I shared whatever I had because I think that was the correct thing to do, and I just did it because I don't think we should take it as, oh, it is my competitor, or I don't think he's my
Yeah.
competitor or anybody is my competitor. You should be your competitor, and that's how
Yes.
you should. That's how you should work. And I believe in God. So if I pay it forward, something will come in. Oh, big opportunities will come in. Like I believe non-profit hype is a big opportunity, and I think it's underrated.
I think this is the thing that's so special is that I couldn't be in every conversation, and that's what I was doing before I started the nonprofit Hive. I talk with lots of people, but I can only make that so big. I can only have so many conversations. So instead, if we gather together all of these brilliant people who can bring what they can
Wow.
to the table, then it lifts all of us, right? There's the idea of the rising boat, right? So when the tide comes in, everyone can come up together. And I really believe in that. Or at least I thought it was an idea worth pursuing, and it's proven to be true.
Yes, and believe me, it will go a long way. And the best thing about nonprofit hive, if you ask me, is that there are many such hives who claim to be like hives in LinkedIn. I will not name them, in Facebook, in social media, and they are charging subscription, other things.
Yep.
Organizations, basic small organizations like us, if the charges is very minimum, also, we have to think whether we
Yeah.
should pay. I think for conversations, we should not charge. And that is the best thing about nonprofit hive is, and that shows your idea. You are not after money, you are after building communities, you are after seeing, you want to see the real impact. What does nonprofit hive has brought the impact in the world? That is what actually I believe nonprofit hive real objective is, to see the impact. Because you there was no space, I don't think, because I am a tech savvy person, and I am spending a lot of time online. I have not seen any such platform in India or abroad, the way nonprofit have has helped build connections with small organizations, with a person like Dan Drucker, with a person like Matthew Hans, with a person like Mario Hernandez. All
Yeah.
these connections. So I have not seen such a community where it is free of cost and you can speak your heart out and people are coming forward to help each other. Hats off to you, what
Oh,
you did. I i cannot, if I become, if my nonprofit really gains a lot of things in the coming years, I would be very happy to share all the resources with all the members of the nonprofit hive. I am happy. So I believe in paying forward because I believe, my father says, the moment you pay forward, a better thing will come, bigger thing will come.
absolutely. I couldn't agree more. So this has been incredible. I've loved learning so many things. Your nonprofit is doing so many beautiful things out in the world. After this is done, we're going to make a lovely article. We're going to share this video, but how can people best get in touch with you? How can they follow along with your nonprofit journey?
You can share my email, you can share my website, and
Okay.
you can share the Beast video. That's the
Okay.
only thing I'll say. Because the thing is, Mr. Beast Philanthropy has a policy of supporting for 1 year. I'm still in talks to request them to extend. So the 1 year in India, the financial year starts from April and it ends in March. So this
Okay.
is the last month of support actually for Beast Philanthropy until now.
That's a
Yes.
wonderful support, right? That's such a big support for a year.
Actually, and that is the reason it's very difficult to replace a foundation like so
Yeah.
big as Mr. Beast Philanthropy. If more donors come in with a small ticket, I think there are options. You can fund a child's education, you can just feed somebody, you can help them with computer education. So a lot of options are there, and donors can go there and donate with the way. And if I believe if somebody really wants to help us, connect us with the right person, as you said. Connect
Absolutely.
us with some foundations, with smaller foundations, like maybe 5 foundations coming in, 10 foundations coming in. That is how we can survive. Because for an organization like us who are coming from the grassroots, it's really very difficult, Tasha. I cannot tell you in words how much time I have to dedicate in mobilizing resources. And this acts on us is always on the staff, because 57 staff members, and these are the stuff. Their biggest strength of the organization is most of the staff are where the egg beneficiaries. It's a very difficult job on earth, I believe. NGO people, the non-profit people have been underrated all over the world. And people should come forward, corporate should come forward instead of complaining about crimes. All the big companies and all the big leaders said, oh, crime has gone up, crime has gone up. I don't know. When you don't know, please check if what the non-profit is doing and whether are you contributing enough to the non-profit so that they can do the work whenever somebody complains, especially somebody who is very rich. So we should all from the non-profit people, you should say, I hope you are contributing enough to make the society a safer place. Because
Absolutely.
you are just contribution is just a very small amount. I would just finish, Tasha, with a small quote with Mother Teresa. When she started Missionaries of Charity, I was not even born, but my father had the opportunity to work with her few times. So when she started Missionaries of Charity, you must have heard a lot of support came from all over the world. Lot of checks came in, lot of cameras and everything. The reporter asked her, "You should be so thankful to the donors. You got so much support from across the globe." She said, "Not at all. They should be thankful to me." Everybody was shocked. Why? Because she said, "I am giving them opportunity to serve the people. Otherwise, they would not have that opportunity to serve the people. So I am giving, so non-profit Hive is giving you a platform for so many non-profits to come. And I think more companies should come and join this non-profit Hive where they can find the non-profits and they can support. Then I think the
Absolutely.
real objective of the non-profit Hive would be fulfilled. With this, I complete.
Okay. Hey, I love the idea and we will continue to evolve. And I think that's one of the exciting things. We haven't been around that long and so many amazing humans already have joined us. And thank you so much for doing this interview with me. It's been a joy to meet you today.
Thank you, Tasha.